Hey everybody, I'm Chris, and today I'm going to walk you through how to create presets for In the Still of the Night, John Sykes from Whitesnake. So let's kick it right off. First thing we're going to do is go to New Copy. We want a new preset, and new. We're going to call this one S-O, because we're trying to get it done quick, N. So we want to approach creating presets in the same way that we would approach creating our tone in real life. So we're going to start out with an amplifier. Let's kick on gain, and in this case, I'm going to turn the gain way up. I'm going to crank it, go to 45.5. Right? Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go search for a tone, but he had kind of a bitey, kind of like, crunchy tone. So we'll go with bite. We're going to make this one, I just want more asymmetry. I want to hear a little more kind of a stereo spread there. Yeah, there we go. Man, not bad right out of the gate. Les Paul and an Elevate. Okay, let's go ahead and work with our cab a little bit here. I like focus, but I want to get something that's a little bit more kind of punchy in that mid-range. So let's see if we got a... let me see. Mid-forward. Let's try that. That's not bad. Okay, I like that. Rolling forward from there, let's work with our pre-EQ. I typically like to use when I'm working with the pre-EQ, I like to use the post-EQ frequency and Q. But we're going to punch up a little bit more of the mid-range in this particular case for the pre-EQ. I want to get some of that bite in there. So say like 3 dB, just a little bit of, going into our amplifier, I want more of that mid that pulls more of that out of the Marshall. Let's go on over to post-EQ. We're going to set it for 3-band. 800. Let's do that since we're following, because I tend to like that punchier upper mid-range. All right, now if we go back to that kind of 80s sound, 800 hertz sounds good. I'm going to crank up a little more lows, dive out some of the mids on the, there we go, and maybe a little bit of high, sprinkle in a little high. And now you're really starting to get a sense for that. Okay, since we're cranking the gain way up, let's go ahead and set this for humbucker, since that's what we're getting. Not bad. All right, modulation. Let's go with like a thick chorus, something that just... There we go. And the still of the night. Okay. Throw in maybe a little bit of slapback. We got a slapback in here somewhere. Let's try that. All right. Okay, and reverb. Reverb-wise, let's do something, I don't know, not too crazy, like a Hall, since he tended to, play in massive... All right, and I'll just turn this up a little bit. We'll go for like a 5.2. Not bad. Okay, so good. We've got ourselves, I think that's a pretty workable tone. So that gives us a little bit of that John Sykes thing. But if you remember, in the middle of that song, we go into this rather acoustic-y kind of thing. So I think he actually played that on a Fender Deluxe or something like that. Probably with I think he had a black Strat that he used to use. We're going to pretend like we're going to a gig. So I got to go play this. And since I have to go play it, let's go ahead and do the front end pickup. And what we'll do is we'll create that kind of ethereal sound that was in that middle of that thing. Okay. So let's start out with, again, same thing, amplifier. We want warm gain. I don't even think I'm going to mess with adding gain to it at all. I'm just going to go for that warm, clean sound. Warm and smooth, maybe? Warm, clean? There we go, warm, clean. We'll do that. Cab. We'll just stick with the mid forward. That's fine. And we'll use some similar EQ settings so we're not too far out. So pre-EQ, just what we did before. We'll just punch up a little bit. We'll put it about where it was. This way the guitar doesn't sound drastically different between clean and dirty. In fact, I'll even go with the same, more or less the same settings. But let's modify this a little bit. So we got our 2.5. Instead of going all crazy, we'll add a little bit more mid-range in, just so we can hear. You can hear it a little bit more because it's clean. Okay, gate. We can just use noise floor only for that. That's fine. Compressor. Let's go with like a medium compressor. We're going to pull that out a little bit and make it not bad. Modulation. Let's go with a rack chorus. So we get that full-on 80s rack chorus sound. And I'm going to actually punch the level up now, and I want to hear it a little bit better while I'm working on it. 10 to, let's go 10. I like that. Throw in a little bit of reverb. In this case, let's go with like a cavernous reverb, and we'll crank up the amount by a bit so we can get that kind of a, where's our cavern at? Cavern. There we go. We'll save that. Okay. When I was creating the Still of the Night preset for our factory preset pack, just when I had gotten done completing the preset for the first time, and I spent some considerable time really trying to capture what John was doing with his Les Paul, I had left the building that day, and that's when I had heard via the news that John Sykes had passed. So today, I just wanted to say, first off, thanks, John, for all that you've done to contribute to, to music, to the world of guitar playing. Just some epic tone that you truly had, that Coliseum tone. But on top of all that, I just wanted to dedicate this fundamentals course in the memory of John Sykes for all the inspiration that you've given us all these years.